much Bo in his first preseason action. What impressed you most about what he was able to take from practice and the game?
Yeah, I think I think you could say this about all the quarterbacks. He went in there and got the play call, got to the line of scrimmage, and made some plays. Didn't do anything silly, and all quarterbacks are ultimately measured by scoring points, and he did that. So, one perfect, a lot of things that he can improve on, which is what you would expect. Nothing better than a game situation to help you do that. So, I was pleased with all three of them, really.
How's Luke Wattenberg coming along as a center in the 2 years that you've had?
Really good. I think there's some good competition there. He's an athletic guy, can hit his landmarks, smart, communicates well, gets guys going in the right direction, and is productive. Alex is right there with them, so it's a good competition.
The goal line, even though it's kind of half speed, what do you get out of that particular?
Yeah, it's the first time lining up in those formations and running those plays, so it's really alignment, assignment, getting to your landmarks, running backs having the right tracks, understanding where the ball's hitting. It's a tough thing because it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to practice at practice tempo. Sean said it. You're either live or you're trotting. You can't just go thud tempo because it's just not how that part of the game is played. And so it's just making sure that they hear the calls, know how to line up, know what their assignment is, and not a lot more to it.
What'd you come away evaluation on your rookie running backs?
Yeah, I thought. Audric ran hard. Really, I think every running back in that room had multiple runs where they were finishing for a couple extra yards, and I was real pleased with that. So you saw that from Audric. Obviously, Blake had some big plays. The turnover, the fumble by Audric's the one thing you'd like to get back, but he'll learn from that. So I was impressed with those guys knowing what to do and being productive when they did it.
So what do you really like about joint practices? What do you hope to get out of it?
Yeah, it's. I think it gives a little juice to practice. You've been out here for 3 or 4 weeks, whatever it's been, and you're seeing the same looks. And, you've got some plays you like to practice, but maybe your defense's structure kind of, makes it where it's not a great play, so you don't like scripting it. So it gives you a chance to work on some different things. Gives you a chance to evaluate guys against different people. I think it, they're not. They're facing the same guys every day. They kind of get used to them. They kind of know what their tricks are, and so I think it gives you, as much as anything, a good evaluation of your guys against different players, and then, just seeing different things, reacting to different looks, things you're not as familiar with, and it's probably a little more realistic at this point of camp to game day.
Are you able to get an equal evaluation in joint practice as you are in a preseason game?
Maybe not equal because, we're still not tackling. It's so much of this game is, guys making a play, whether breaking a tackle. You don't get to see that in practice. Quarterback scrambling. Well, the defense always thinks they have a sack. We always think we escaped it. And in a game, for sure. So in a joint practice, you don't. But, back to my earlier point, I do think it's a different kind of evaluation because it's different players, different scheme you're facing, and you see the guys in a different situation. So it's definitely helpful.
Joe, back to the short red zone. Obviously, that was an issue for you guys last year. What are some of the things right now that are giving you early optimism that you guys can go out there?
I think one, just another year, and this guy's just being more on point with their assignment and our timing, all those things. I think our running game is going to be better, and that's key. Obviously Russ was a great improviser. I think our quarterbacks all have that skill as well, which, throwing the football in the red zone, you'd like everything to be on time. But, if you watch all the touchdowns over the course of a year in the NFL in the tight red zone, the number one thing is a broken play. And so just getting another year working, what our scramble rules are. I think all those things will lead to more success.
Brandon, I think you touched on this probably last year when you played him, and you've been doing this a long time, but when you see the Packers uniform and all that, I guess personally, how does it affect you and your family?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it till you asked me that. You know, I mean, you grew up with a lot of Packer memorabilia and a lot of those memories, but, you know, in some ways that was kind of in the past. So, you know, you probably always have a spot for the Packers in your heart as a fan, but, you know, I probably wouldn't have thought about it until you asked me. You know, when you go to Lambeau Field and you see your grandpa's name up there, you know, you're like, oh, that's cool, and then it's on to business.